spitting up green.
Right, you coughed up some green.
I couldn't stop.
Right, so let's talk a little bit about that. Why would you be coughing up or spitting up green after the surgery? One of the fears, if you think about it, of this type of surgery is that you can get a pneumonia or an infection. And that's a scary time. But if you think about a cold or pneumonia you've had in the past, sometimes you cough up that green, gunky looking stuff. Was that kind of what it?
A lot.
Yeah, well, so for those of you listening over the internet, it was green, slimy. Some of these don't go to the internet. We edit some of the things. Yeah, and so what we worry about in that situation, where if that were to continue, if you were to have more of a cough and more of a temperature, a fever, things like that, that would be a sign of a progressive infection and a pneumonia, which would be very concerning. It turns out, in our experience of now 3,700 patients over 9 years, we've only had 1 or 2 pneumonias out of the whole time. And one of the nice things about our experience is that the operation is so short, the anesthesia is so short, that our risk of pneumonia is quite low. So when you told me about it, I was a little bit cavalier. I went, it's no big deal. And the reason behind that is, having done thousands of these kinds of cases, I know that although you can cough up some gunk, which is because of the anesthesia and being asleep, you get some collapse of the small little airways. Those collapse of the airways is called atelectasis. That's the big medical term for that. And you can get some mucus and you can cough that up. But I knew from my experience it'd be unusual in the extreme to get an actual pneumonia. To cough up a little bit of gunk after general anesthesia is reasonable, kind of expected. It's not terrible, and usually will get better on its own. So hopefully you can report today how are things going with the coughing up gunk. Good, so that got better.
Yeah.
Good, well, we're happy about that. Had it gotten worse, of course, we would have been in contact, and potentially you'd have to be hospitalized. Pneumonia sometimes can be so severe you need intravenous antibiotics or oral antibiotics, but yours has, it looks like, improved, and it's not going to go on to a full-blown pneumonia. And that's one of the positives about the mini-gastric bypass itself. It doesn't cause much in the way of pneumonia, so that's good news.